Hello, welcome back. GovDoc Breakdown, no opinions, just facts and summaries of government documents, and we let you take it from there. June 12th, Supreme Court opinion, Rivers v. Guerrero. All right, today we will be discussing this legal question. If someone files a second habeas petition, and a habeas petition is basically a way for someone in state prison to ask a federal court to check if their conviction or sentence breaks federal law or the Constitution. And usually you only get to do one habeas petition, like one shot to do that. So if somebody files a second one, while their first petition is still being appealed, does it count as a second or successive petition under the Antiterrorism and Effective Death Penalty Act, or AEDPA? All right, this is a confusing one, and honestly, guys, one of the reasons I started this channel was to just inform people very quickly, but with a lot of these Supreme Court cases, it's pretty hard to add nuance and everything with like a 3 to 4 minute video, which is what I usually try to keep them at. So if you want more long form, detailed stuff, just let me know. Hit me up in the comments. Yeah. All right, so before we get into the case, let's touch on the AEDPA's rules for second or successive petitions. The AEDPA limits how many times someone can file habeas petitions to challenge their conviction. In order to file a second petition, it has to, 1, be based on new retroactive rule of constitutional law, or 2, include new facts that were previously undiscoverable and could prove the person's innocence. Also, you cannot file a second petition directly with the district court. You must first ask the Court of Appeals for permission, showing your petition meets the strict requirements of the AEDPA. Now, that sounds like a bunch of legal jargon, so let's get into the background of the case to give us some more context. All right, Danny Rivers was convicted in 2012 in Texas State Court for continuous sexual abuse of a child and other related crimes. After losing his appeals and challenges in state court, he filed his first federal habeas petition, claiming prosecutorial misconduct and ineffective assistance of counsel. The federal district court denied this petition, and Rivers appealed to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. Remember, district court, circuit court, Supreme Court. And the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals allowed him to appeal only on the issue of ineffective assistance of counsel. Now, this is the important part. While his appeal was ongoing, Rivers accessed his trial lawyer's files and found a report from a state investigator he thought could help prove he was innocent, or at least could weaken the case against him. So, Rivers asked the Fifth Circuit to add this evidence to the appeal that was ongoing, but the Fifth Circuit said no. Then Rivers filed a second habeas petition in the district court based on this new evidence, which was decided to be a second or successive habeas petition since it had to do with the original case. This is where the AEDPA comes in. So since the petition was deemed to be second or successive, it needed to meet those strict requirements and be approved by the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals that already had denied the addition of the evidence. This is what Rivers is arguing to the Supreme Court, that his second petition was not secondary or successive, because his case was still in the appeals court, and his second petition should be accepted by the district court as a new petition. However, the Supreme Court ruled unanimously that once a district court issues a final judgment on a first habeas petition, any new habeas petition filed after that is considered second or successive, even if the first petition is being appealed. This is because the district court's decision is the key moment, not the end of the appeal. So basically, all right, we're going to back up and see if we can explain this. So, Rivers takes his first habeas petition to the district court, because that's where you take habeas petitions. They say no. So he appeals to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals up here, and they say, all right, you can go forward. But while that appeal is happening, he files a second habeas petition to the district court because he just believes it's another habeas petition. He doesn't know about this or doesn't think that this is a second or successive habeas petition. So he brings a second one to the district court, and then the district court tells him this is second or successive, so you have to go back to the circuit court before being able to send this through the district court because they need to approve it and say that it has those strict requirements. I don't know if that worked, but stay with me here. So basically, this rule keeps the legal system efficient by limiting how many times someone can file new claims, preventing courts from being overwhelmed and ensuring state court decisions are respected. So now Rivers will need to get permission from the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals to file the secondary habeas petition by showing that it meets the strict requirements of the AEDPA. All right, that might be our longest video for a while. So, all right, Kaimo, keep your mind open, do your own research, form your own opinion. See you in a little bit.